I think it's really important for the public to understand that Ponzi schemes, by their nature, can fly under the radar. The Trevor Cook case, Mr. Cook, together with a radio host named Patrick Kiley, began raising money. Again, turned out that it was primarily a Ponzi scheme, but what he offered to investors was the opportunity to participate in foreign currency trading. And depending upon which investor you talk to, he tended to offer it slightly differently each time he made the offer. And this was specifically part of their pitch, without going through brokers and other registered areas of the financial world. I think part of his pitch was to say that those folks were taking commissions and making money off your money, and that if you invested with Trevor Cook and Patrick Kiley, that in fact your money would go to work just for you. Close to $5 million was lost through gambling. They used a lot of the money to do things like visit strip clubs, live a very lavish lifestyle. A lot of the money was used to repay other investors. That was the Ponzi portion of the scheme. Many of the investors were elderly, some single moms, people who liquidated their retirement accounts or IRAs in order to invest them through him. If I did want to make one generalization about people who promote these frauds, I would say that they tend to be very astute at identifying communities, and that could be a geographic community or it could be an affinity group community, where, for one reason or another, there's the likelihood that there will be a high level of trust. So, for example, in a religious community where a lot of the values that people believe in really rely upon human relationships and trust and the belief that the other people in the community are your colleagues and not out to do you wrong, if you will, that immediately creates an environment where they're less likely to be suspicious of another member of the community.
Wouldn't it make sense to have enforcers on the ground in Minnesota that become part of the community, get to know the local businesses, watch out for things like this?
Well, I think in theory it would be great if we had people every place. Mm-hmm. The reality is that the SEC has not even 1,000 people in its enforcement division to cover the entire country.
How under-resourced is the SEC?
Pretty under-resourced. One of the big areas that we're trying to build up, and which takes a lot of money, is the whole area of technology. Mm-hmm. Again, we're light years behind where the industry is. We're light years behind where some other regulatory agencies are on that front.
Why? Why are you behind?
Because of limited funding. I mean, when you work for a government agency, you only get to spend what Congress appropriated for you for that year.